Hey guys, welcome to ABC Cooking, where I'm going to show you the recipes I've learned growing up as an American-born Chinese. Today, I'm making cold cuts from braised beef shanks, Lu Niu Jian. For those of you who haven't seen my previous video on Taiwanese beef noodle soup, beef shanks are a cut taken from the cow's leg that include tendon that runs throughout the meat. This tendon becomes super soft and delicious when the beef shank is braised for a long time. So I've rubbed my beef shank with tianmianjiang, black bean paste, and let it sit and marinate for about 2 hours. I've also cut up a green onion and some garlic cloves and ginger slices. For those of you who have seen my previous videos, you know that I use these 3 aromatic vegetables whenever I make soup or braise any meat. I'm going to place the beef shank and aromatic vegetables into a pot of boiling water. The type of pot you want to choose for this recipe is a smaller one that just fits the beef shank. A smaller pot means that I can use less water, and I want to use less water because I want the braising liquid to boil down to about 1 cup at the end of this cooking process. Now I'm going to add some more ingredients to help flavor the braising liquid. First, I'm going to add some Chinese rice cooking wine. The rice wine helps to get rid of any unwanted smells caused by the blood in the meat. Then I'm going to add some soy sauce to make things a little salty. And then I'm going to use something called chili oil. This oil has been infused with chili powder, so it's a nice spicy oil. Instead of chili oil, you could use sriracha. I recommend using some kind of hot sauce that doesn't have any pepper flakes in it. Then I'm going to add some sugar, a little bit of salt, and some star anise powder. You want to be careful with how much salt you add, because we're reducing the broth by quite a bit, so that's going to concentrate all of the flavors and you don't want it to become too salty. Once everything's in the pot, turn your heat down to about medium so that the broth is at a strong simmer. Then let the beef cook for about 2 to 3 hours. And while it's cooking, you want to flip the beef over about every half hour so that it cooks evenly. And if you really want, you could add enough water so that it completely covers the beef. But in my opinion, it's better to add water so that it's about halfway or 3/4 of the way covered. This way it's not boiling in a more diluted broth, and it'll be more flavorful in the end. Once the beef is done cooking, take it out and put it in another container. And if needed, turn your heat to high and boil the broth down till it's about 1 cup. Once it's reduced, pour the liquid into the container over the beef, and if you want, strain the liquid so that you get rid of any bits of ginger, garlic, or green onions. Then place the beef and the broth inside the fridge and let it chill for about 4 hours. I usually prefer to do it overnight, but if you start this recipe in the morning, then it'll be done by dinner. Once the sauce is thoroughly chilled in the fridge, it should be a little bit goopy and kind of gelatinous thanks to the tendon. Once you're ready to start plating, cut the beef shank into 1/8 inch slices. You don't want the beef shank to be too thick or else it'll be too tough to chew. And for those of you who have never seen beef shank before, this is what it looks like on the inside. The translucent bits running throughout the meat are the tendon. If you have trouble cutting off slices when you start reaching the end of the beef, here's a pro tip. Stack some of the cut off slices against the end of the meat, turn everything around 180 degrees, and then start slicing again. Now let's start arranging the beef slices on the plate. I like to arrange the slices in a circular pattern that forms a flower shape. Just imagine the beef slices are flower petals, and starting with the larger slices, start placing them around the outer edge of the plate, slightly overlapping each piece. Once you finish the outer circle, start working on the second circle that should just overlap the first one. Then place the remaining smaller pieces in the center of the flower. Now take that flavorful and concentrated broth and brush it all over the petals. In addition to flavoring the meat, the broth will also add a nice sheen. Once you're done slicing the meat, thinly slice some green onions into some long diagonal pieces. Then place the green onions in the center of the flour and have the pointy ends of the green onion pointing towards the center to contribute to that flower appearance. Now we can dig in. Let's pick a piece with some beautiful tendon running through it, add some green onions, and take a bite. When you eat beef shank when it's hot, the tendon is what makes it so tender when you braise it for a long time. But when you eat beef shank cold, the tendon is kind of snappy and it gives the meat a nice chew. This Lu Niu Jian is considered to be the Chinese version of cold cut roast beef, so it would be a great addition to your sandwiches. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, if you follow me, cooking can be easy as ABC. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!